The Ball Game Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. Ball Game Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Live from the campus of University School of Jackson, Ball Game Blitz Sports Network and Worthy Road Studios proudly present Lady Bruins softball. And this afternoon, it is the USJ Lady Bruins taking on Westview from Martin, Tennessee, and this should be an interesting matchup between these two teams. I'll quickly give you the starting lineups. For Westview, batting first, second baseman Lakin Rogers. Piper Johnson, the shortstop, batting second. In the third slot, McCall Sims, who will be on the mound today. At cleanup is Addie Roberts, the catcher. Braden Hazelwood is the designated hitter. Anna Alley is in center field. And batting seventh is Emma Barner. She's at first base. The right fielder, Marianne Chester, batting eighth and hitting in the 9 spot. The third baseman, Sarah Beth Byers. Over for USJ, leading off and playing shortstop will be Halen Ayers. Of course, she's the 8th grader. Maddie Polk, the center fielder, who will be hitting second. In the third slot, Abby Brown, second baseman. At cleanup, the third baseman, Taylor Shands. And then L.K. Prater is catching. 6th hitter is E.K. Elrod, the pitcher. Ella Golden is the first baseman. She'll be hitting 7th. And number 8, Mary Patton Redden, she is the left fielder, and in right field, it is Kendall Morris who will be down in the 9 slot. And those are your starting lineups for the two teams, and we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back after you have these visits with our fine sponsors.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Tired of going to the dealerships only to see empty spaces? Then come to Carlock Nissan of Jackson. We have over 60 new vehicles in stock and more coming in daily. You can see, feel, and of course smell that new car smell. Save up to $8,600 off MSRP on a new Nissan. Plus, special APR financing as low as 1.9%. It's all at Carlock Nissan of Jackson. You should already be here. Tired of going to the dealerships only to see empty spaces? Then come to Carlock Nissan of Jackson. We have over 60 new vehicles in stock and more coming in daily. You can see, feel, and of course smell that new car smell. Save up to $8,600 off MSRP on a new Nissan. Plus, special APR financing as low as 1.9%. It's all at Carlock Nissan of Jackson. You should already be here. Tired of going to the dealerships only to see empty spaces? Then come to Carlock Nissan of Jackson. We have over 60 new vehicles in stock and more coming in daily. You can see, feel, and of course smell that new car smell. Save up to $8,600 off MSRP on a new Nissan. Plus, special APR financing as low as 1.9%. It's all at Carlock Nissan of Jackson. You should already be here.
Mention Ball Game Blitz Sports Network and receive a free gift.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Carlac Prestige is not your typical used car dealer. We have everything from a Porsche to this, and lots more. We inspect and repair all our vehicles. Ask us to prove it. We will.
Carlac Prestige, Van Drive, Jackson.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all prearranged funerals. So you may have prearranged your funeral in this town with another funeral home or even in another state, but we accept all prearranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
Fleet Feet, your locally owned source for the best shoes for school, work, running, and everyday comfort. They offer a 3D scan of your feet and professional fitting. Fleet Feet sells the top-selling brands Hoka, On Cloud, and Brooks. To add comfort to your spikes or other performance shoes, let Fleet Feet fit you for a pair of arch support inserts. Get the quality you want and the service you deserve at Fleet Feet in Jackson on Oilwell Road beside Walgreens.
At Dynamics Physical Therapy, we help our clients get back to doing what they love. Dynamics is now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
And we are live from USJ, and for the Lady Bruins, this is going to be an interesting matchup against the Chargers of Craig Rogers from Westview. And they've got a number of their players that ordinarily would be coming off the bench that are on a field trip. So as the cliche is, they have just about enough to field a team this afternoon, but we'll see how well they do it. I love being over here on the softball field to see the bright neon softballs. Our temperature this afternoon is about 61 degrees, but it feels about 50 out here because we have got a strong wind that's going about 12 to 14 miles an hour this afternoon, some gust up around 16. And I can tell you, some of the fans who are out here, they have the blankets out, they've got the heavy coats, the artillery is all out there to protect them from this. But wherever you are, I hope you are totally warm and will enjoy being with us this afternoon. To all of you grandparents, aunts and uncles, cousins, siblings, and best friends who can't be here because perhaps you live out of town, we're glad to have you. Those of you who will be watching for both teams today, glad to have you aboard because there's nothing like streaming to bring the game up close and personal to you. And here to start it is Lakin Rogers, the second baseman for Westview. And on the mound, it's E.K. Elrod. And the first pitch. That one is tapped over the second baseman's head for just a little bit of a bloop single. So Lakin Rogers gets on just over the head of Abby Brown. Couldn't quite get to it. So we open up with a single, and Piper Johnson, the shortstop. And the pitch. Outside, ball one. Abby Brown she really had a lead on that one, but didn't get there. The next pitch is up high, ball two. The runner is taking a slim lead down at first base. And the pitch, and that one's going to go foul. They got it over the head of Taylor Shands, but it went foul, bent, and so we are looking at 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, let me reverse that. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He didn't give a definitive signal on one of the other pitches. It looked like a ball, but called it a strike. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. She's ahead of the hitter. and winds, and here they go trying to steal second, and they get it down to Halen Ayers, but she had too much of a lead on that, so give Lakin Rogers a stolen base for Westview. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner now in scoring position, and Johnson, the shortstop, at the plate. And Elrod delivers. And that one's going to get in the gap between the shortstop and the third baseman for a base hit. The runner on second could not advance. So they open up with runners on first and second. McCall Sims, the pitcher, up to the plate in the third slot today. And let's see if Elrod can possibly get a ground ball double play to get out of some of this danger. Winds in the pitch, in there for strike 1. This Westview team likes to run, and don't put it past them to try to see if they can navigate a double steal. Elrod gets the signal and the pitch, and that's a little bit high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got a bright sunlit day today, and it has been beautiful almost all day long. High, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Tell you what, the athletic facilities here at University School of Jackson, they are second to none. And everybody here is so proud of them. The pitch, and that's outside for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike with 2 on. So Sims has worked the count to 3-1. And Elrod delivers. That's a high fly ball that's going to get just into the outfield, and the drop by the right fielder. But they still get the force at second because the runners had to hold, and so they managed to get out Piper Johnson at second. Sims gets there on an error on the right fielder. So they got a break on that one. So runners now on first and third with 1 out. And this is the catcher, Addie Roberts, in the cleanup spot. They can still be in a good position for a double play. And here's Elrod's first pitch. And they go to second with it. And they've got the runner in a rundown. And they managed to get the runner on third back. So whereas it looked like the runner on first was about to get into a rundown, they were very, very cautious because it looked like the runner on third was coming home, and she made it back. So no change in everything. It's a ball and no strikes. And the pitch. And a runner on second, runner on first. Looked like she was going to try to maybe see if she could swipe second. Didn't work. 2 balls and no strikes. Roberts, they depend on her for some power on this team. And the pitch. Outside for ball 3, and the runner on first takes second. So McCall Sims with a steal of second, and that puts runners on second and third, both of them in scoring position with 1 out. And the 3-0 pitch in there for strike 1 call. This is your typical early spring in West Tennessee. Last year, when we were about this time of year in late March, went through about 5 or 6 dates where we had absolutely frozen weather, at least by our standards. And there's a high foul ball that's going to be out of play. So they've worked it back to 3 balls and 2 strikes. I remember doing one game last year, the early portion of April, and it was a 7 o'clock start to the game, and it was 42 degrees at game time. I wish I'd have had an electric blanket concession. That one's high for ball 4, so they have loaded them. 2 balls and 1 strike. So now is a play at any base. And here comes Braden Hazelwood, the designated hitter. She's the 5th Charger to bat in this inning. So you have Rogers on third, Sims on second, and Roberts on first. And the umpire's making a little bit of an equipment adjustment. They're going to bring in a pinch runner and try to check and see who that is. It looks like that's Pamela Kaufman. No, I think it's Jillian Brigance. So she's in the pinch runner situation at first base. So Hazelwood steps out of the batter's box, and here comes the ump back. And let's see if Elrod can get a double play and get out of this one. And the pitch. That's fouled back behind us for strike one. If she can nab a double play out of this one, that would be a terrific job of clutch pitching to get out of this jam. No balls and 1 strike and 1 out. And the pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. I think they were pitching out to see if there was a possibility of a triple steal attempt. All right, back in the batter's box for Hazelwood. And the pitch. That's a little high. 2 balls and 1 strike. No place to put her. They're playing her relatively deep in the outfield and hit the outside corner for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And let's see if she can nab her with either a strikeout or a double play here. And the pitch. And that just missed. Low for ball 3. Now, the ump is signaling 1 strike, but we have 2 up here, and I'm sure that we're all unanimous in that, but we don't count. It is a full count, but the ump signaled 3 balls and 1 strike. All right, let's see what Elrod delivers in this one. The pitch. And that one's fouled off to the right. It's definitely 3 balls and 2 strikes now. So we got a full count. Runners on every sack. No score yet, but the Chargers are threatening. And the pitch. And that one's going to be fouled off to the left. It's out of play. Mary Patton Redden gave it a little bit of a look, but that was way out of her range. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hazelwood has been hanging tough up here at the plate. They got a new ball out there. Actually getting a couple of them that have made their way out of play. So L.K. Prater hands off to the ump, and here we go. Hazelwood again, 3-2. And they're all loaded. And the pitch. High ball 4, and that brings in the first run of the game as Lakin Rogers scores on the walk. So given RBI to Braden Hazelwood. Bases are still loaded. And that brings up Anna Alley, the center fielder. And her first pitch is outside and low. Ball and no strikes. Once again, no place to put Alley. And all 3 of these runners on base are very fast. She gets one to the outfield, and it could easily be 2 runs in. 2 balls and no strikes. Elrod winds and delivers, and that one's tapped back and went off the knee of Anna Alley. 2 balls and a strike. We had a really great pitching duel last night that the Bruins won in their game with Trinity Christian Academy 3-2. It was one of the best high school games you'll see anywhere. Lots of drama in it. The pitch. And that's low. 3 balls and a strike. So once again, she has no ball available to her. And the runners will be moving with this pitch. And that one is just hit foul into the screen. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we got another payoff pitch coming. If they could hold them out with just this 1 run in the inning, everybody will be breathing a little more calmly. And the pitch. And that's going to go to Halen Ayers, the shortstop. She goes to third and can't get anybody else, so a run comes home. But they got the force play, 6-4. So Roberts was out on that one. Anna Alley makes it to first on the fielder's choice. So now runners on first and second. McCall Sims came in with the run. 2-0 Chargers lead, but now 2 out, and you got to force it any base but home. Got it in there for the strike. Emma Barner, the first baseman, she is the 7th Charger to bat in the inning for Craig Rogers. And the pitch. And that's tapped to the first, right through the first baseman's legs, and that is going to not score a run because Braden Hazelwood thought just a little more of it. So score that an error on the first baseman, and that loads the bases once again. So you got Hazelwood on third, Alley on second, Barner on first, and now here's the 8th Charger to bat in the inning, and that's Marianne Chester, the right fielder. So this has been a 15-minute first half of the inning. The pitch, low for ball 1. Still, if she can just get a force out at any base and get out with just 2 runs in this inning and get some batters in there to try to see if they can challenge. And that is going to go right into center field for a base hit. 2 runs are going to score. It's a 4-0 Chargers lead. Hazelwood comes in on the single, as does Anna Alley. So a 2-run single for Marianne Chester, and here comes Sarah Beth Byers, the third baseman, as this team has batted around in the first inning. Byers is the third baseman. And the pitch. Outside, ball 1. So you've got Chester on first, Barner on second. The 1-0. Outside again, 2 balls and no strikes. Lakin Rogers, who began the inning with a base hit, will be next. Two down, 2 on, and 4-0 Chargers. The pitch, right down in there for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. The runners get their leads. And the pitch again, right down in there for strike 2. Three balls and 2 strikes. And the payoff pitch. And that one's tapped foul down the third base line. So we'll recalibrate once again on a 3-2. And the Chargers haven't even been out in the field yet. The pitch. And that's going to be a slow roller to the third baseman. She's got to fire quickly to first base and gets them out. And finally, they are done in the inning, 5-3. So it was 4 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 women left on base. And at the end of a half inning, the score is Chargers 4, Lady Bruins just now coming into bat.
Thompson & Smith, the area's premier independent insurance brokerage, has been serving families and businesses in the region through its founding companies since 1927. With their many insurance company partners, Thompson & Smith provides insurance products for family, home and auto, contractors, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, medical and dental clinics, as well as any other business or organization seeking quality coverage, risk management expertise and customer-focused service. Call them today to discuss your insurance needs.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
McCall Sims takes the mound for Westview. She's been staked to a 4-0 lead in the top half of the first inning. So that's always something that as a pitcher you love to be able to take the mound with a lead, and particularly one that you've gotten the kind of support that she has so far with 4 runs on 4 hits. Halen Ayers. She's the tall shortstop. And for those of you who watched USJ basketball this year, you watched a house of fire when she was out there on the floor. I mean, she could put a team on her back, and between her and Ava Barham and then the guards that they had on this team, she was just fantastic. Let's see what she does at the plate. And went around on that one for strike 1. Maddie Polk, the center fielder, will hit second, and Abby Brown, the second baseman, will be third. That's outside for ball 1. Halen hitting left-handed against the right-handed pitching of McCall Sims. Sims delivers outside. 2 balls and a strike. Well, let's see if the Lady Bruins can get a rally started here. And the pitch outside again. 3 balls and 1 strike. Now, if she gets the pitch she wants, she'll go for it, but you would expect her probably to be taking this pitch all the way. And Sims delivers, and she went around on it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. All right, a payoff pitch here to Ayers. And that's going to be a slow roller to the shortstop, and she's not even going to try it. Ayers is so very fast. So an infield hit for Halen Ayers gets things started in the bottom half of the first for the Bruins. And here's Maddie Polk, the center fielder. And you got to know that Halen is a threat to steal at any given time on any base. And here's the delivery, and that's going to go to the pitcher. She fires to first, and that's out number 1. So 1-3 on the putout, and Ayers moves over to second on the fielder's choice. Abby Brown, the second baseman. They took the force play off. Since there wasn't a bunt there, you can't count that as a sacrifice, but it served the same purpose. Taylor Shands, the third baseman, would be next. And there goes Halen. She is going to take off, and that was all Halen Ayers with the lead that she had, so she steals third. She got that infield hit, and she's given them 2 more bases now, 90 feet away. And Brown 1-0. And there's the bunt. And Halen's going to get into home. They're not going to be able to get her, so it's out to first, but Halen Ayers comes home, so give an RBI to Abby Brown on that. Taylor Shands comes to the plate in the cleanup spot. So Bruins got one back, trailing 4-1. And you can attribute that to the speed of Halen Ayers. And that one's inside corner for strike one. If Shands gets on, the catcher, L.K. Prater, will follow her. Bases have been cleared. And she went after one. No balls and 2 strikes. Sims hasn't let a ball get out of the infield. And the pitch. That one's way high for ball one. Trying to get her to chase one. Westview 4 runs on 4 hits in their half of the first inning. And the wind and the pitch. And strike 3. Caught her looking. So that winds up the first inning for the Bruins. It was 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. So at the end of the full inning, Westview leads USJ 4-1.
For anyone contemplating pre-planning, we can tell you from our experience, it's much easier to make funeral plans and record them now than wait until emotions are running at their highest.
With pre-planning, you can free your mind and heart from having to make big decisions during a time of grief and instead enjoy the freedom to focus on the memories of a life well lived.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
Joel Ayers gave his team a bit of a pep talk over down the third base line before picking it back up. E.K. Elrod back on the mound. And we're going to see the same faces all over again because they batted around in the first inning. Lakin Rogers, the second baseman, she had a single, stole second, and came home on a bases-loaded walk in the first inning. And let's see if EK can settle down a bit here in the second. And the pitch to the left-hander is low for ball one. They had 2 walks in addition to the 4 hits in the first inning, and they were able to bunch them together to get those 4 runs. The pitch, that's a high fly ball, and that is right on top of us here. It didn't come in through the window, but it did hit the roof, and it made an exclamation point. It was just really a long reverse strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch to Rogers. And got her around on it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2. High ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Glad to have everybody aboard today on the Ballpark Ball Game Blitz Sports Network, powered by Worthy Road Studios. And the pitch. That's a high fly ball. The right fielder chasing it. Got under it. Saw a little white, but snagged it for out number 1. And the sun can really give these outfielders some problems right now. Kendall Morris was staring right into it, but somehow managed to come up with it over her left shoulder. So 1 down, nobody on. And this is Piper Johnson. She singled her first time up. And then she was forced out at second on an odd right fielder to shortstop play. And there's one that is out of play. Got some youngsters down there over to our left that are scrambling for it. Top half of the second, if you just joined us. Westview on top of USJ 4-1. And the pitch. And that one is going to Halen Ayers. And she couldn't get it out of her glove. simply couldn't hold on to it, and so charge that as an error to Halen. Johnson gets on first, and here comes the pitcher, McCall Sims, who was staked to that 4-run lead. She reached first on an error on the right fielder and then eventually scored on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. And that one is fouled off to the right. Went into the parking lot, but no cars in the vicinity. Don't have to call out the insurance agents today. And the pitch. And there's a drive to center field. Going back, and that ball is out of here for a home run for McCall Sims. 2-run homer for Sims. That brings in Piper Johnson with her. It's a 6-1 game. Boy, she got all of that one, and there was just no way the fielder's going to catch up to that one, and it was a clean one out into right center field. And that'll bring up the catcher, Addie Roberts. And the pitch. Ball and no strikes. And those, I can tell you, looking right into the sun, those fielders have got a real tough job of it. That's a high fly that's going to stay into the infield. Second baseman calls for it and takes it. Abby Brown snags it for out number 2. So the designated hitter, Braden Hazelwood, comes to the plate. She got an RBI on a bases-loaded walk in the first inning and also came home on a single. And the pitch to Hazelwood. That's fouled off to the right out of play. No balls and a strike. The wind is blowing out toward center field, and so it is one of those situations today that the wind was not going to hold that ball up that went out for the home run. And there is another one almost in the exact same spot. In fact, I think if you were to have a replay and be able to show them, we could almost have a geometric measurement. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 out. And here they go. They've got the reserve supply back to the umpire. All right, Hazelwood's ready again with an 0-2 count. And Elrod ready to deliver. And the pitch from EK. Just outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. And there's a high fly to right field. It's carrying, and it's off the screen. That one hit the fence. It's actually going to be a long single. It was just not one that they could get deep enough. The right fielder was chasing back on it and managed to get to it very quickly, and Kendall Morris held Braden Hazelwood to a single. That brings up Anna Alley, the center fielder. She had a single and scored on a fielder's choice in the first inning of play. And the pitch. A little high, 1 ball, no strikes. And this is the 15th hitter to hit in just the first 2 innings of this contest. And that one's going to get away from the catcher, and so the runner advances to second. Score that one a pass ball. So Hazelwood is in scoring position. 2 balls and no strikes. She's probably not going to take a very long lead at this point with a 2-0 count. And the pitch. And hit the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bruins need to get her down and hold the damage as much as possible. And there's one that is going to go into the gap. It's going to bounce about 3 times, and the runner is going to score. So the base hit by Anna Alley scores Braden Hazelwood with yet another run. A 7-1 game, and more damage coming after 2 are out. And here's Emma Barner, the first baseman, and she launches one that is going deep to right field, and snagging it is Kendall Morris for out number 3. But 7 players went to the plate for Westview, and they picked up 3 more runs on 1, 2, 3 more hits, 1 error, and 1 player left on base. And so the score at the end of an inning and a half, Westview 7 and USJ 1.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating, 668-3339, for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Lady Bruins have some work to do to get back in this one. Getting ready to hit the bottom half of the second, trailing 7-1. L.K. Prater, the catcher, will be up first, and then the pitcher, E.K. Elrod, and the first baseman, Ella Gordon. Those 3 additional runs really hurt the cause for the Lady Bruins in the second inning. So let's see what Prater can do against McCall Sims. And here's the first pitch. And she got around a little bit too quick. No balls and a strike. We invite you to subscribe to the Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel. And that one's fouled back, as well as the Worthy Road Studios and Ball Game Blitz Facebook pages. You can see all of the action of USJ sports immediately after the games are over. In case you missed it and you want to see some of your favorite players, go to both of them and subscribe, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. Terrific job that Paul Schultze has done putting together the Ball Game Blitz Sports Network, and that one's low and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Well, instead they say 1 ball and 2 strikes. So here's a key pitch for LK. Outside, ball 2. 2-2. Nobody is on so far and nobody out. Still early in this one. The wind and the pitch just missed the corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we've gone full to L.K. Prater. And if this thing even looks like it's outside, she'll probably be taking it all the way. And the pitch. And she's hit. So it didn't matter. She's going to first base as a hit batsman. You'll take them on base any way you can get them. Here's E.K. Elrod, the pitcher. See if she can help her own cause. The official calls time. And your director this afternoon is the ever-cool, ever-present Alyssa Tatch. And our producer is Stephanie Janda. She's the head of the trucking company this afternoon here over at the Lady Bruins Softball Stadium. And the pitch. And that one is just sliced foul out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. And you've still got Prater over on first. And Sims is going to trot her way back to the mound. And the pitch. And struck her out. They got to go to first with it. The runner, Prater, advances to second on the fielder's choice. So that's the second strikeout of the afternoon, but the putout is catcher to first base. So Ella Golden steps in with a runner on second now. It's her first trip to the plate this afternoon. And she slices one down the left field foul line. No balls and a strike. We got one out here, and we're in the second inning of play on an absolutely glorious afternoon here in Jackson, Tennessee. Supposed to be even colder tomorrow night. I don't mean to be the bearer of bad tidings. No balls and 2 strikes. And let's see if Ella can get a piece of one and advance the runner. Way high and outside. Ball and 2 strikes. He was trying to get her to see if she would chase one outside. Mary Patton Redden, the left fielder, will be next. And that one is tapped foul just beyond the catcher and headed back over toward the Charger bullpen. So Sims steps back into the circle. And the 1-2. Way outside. And the runner's going to go down to third on that pass ball. So LK is moved now within 90 feet of home plate. Two balls, 2 strikes. A runner on third. And the pitch. And down in the dirt. Got a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just to get another run of support would be excellent for EK. That one is going to be fouled back. She's hanging tough with a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're barely, not even 2 innings into this game, and we've been at it 41 minutes. The pitch. High. Ball 4, so they have navigated a walk. Runners now on first and third with Mary Patton Redden coming to the plate. So let's see if they can maneuver their way to a rally here. And that one's bunted right in front of the... And she makes it and scores the run. Beautiful sacrifice bunt. And that'll bring Kendall Morris up to the plate. L.K. Prater came in with that run. And Ella Golden has gone down to second. So Kendall Morris, the right fielder, trying to get a little more down, and she tries to bunt, and it goes back behind the catcher to the screen. There's a great bit of base running on that play by LK to come in on that sacrifice bunt. And the runner managed to get to first base as well. Didn't have to give up an out. 7-2 game, 1 out. And she bunts it right in front, and it goes foul. Just went foul. That was going to be a hard one to be able to nag her at first. Just went outside the stripe, and so it's no balls and 2 strikes. Boy, for a minute there, it looked like it was going to stop like a poached egg, and she was going to be almost impossible to get at first base because she was flying. And the pitch. and she pops the bunt up. Runners have to get back very quickly, and that was snagged by the third baseman. She gave it a good shot, but just couldn't get it home. So here comes Halen Ayers with runners on first and second. Halen singled and scored in the first inning. She also had a stolen base. She's the 6th Bruin to hit in this inning. And that one was low, 1 ball and no strikes. You don't want to waste these runners if you can get one to the outfield, and if Halen does, very good chance of getting both of them home. The pitch. And hit the corner, a ball and a strike. Halen took off for second with the fielder's choice, and then stole third, and then came home. And that one is going to slice out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 out, 2 on. Lady Bruins trying to get back and get a threat in this one, trailing by 5, but if Halen can get a hold of one here, this one could get back to at least maybe a 3-run game. And she does, and it is going to drop in the outfield. And I think they're going to get her home. They're going to fire it home, and they're not going to get there. Now they're going to try to get it to third, and they do. Halen manages to go on the throw, gets to second, and then going to third is Mary Patton Redden. So another base hit for Halen Ayers just over the infield, and she gets an RBI out of that. So they have runners on second and third for Maddie Polk, the center fielder. A 7-3 game now. And that's hitting the corner. Strike 1. Two runs are in this inning and that one just goes down the line. Just foul. So Maddie with 2 strikes on her, and still the 2 runners in scoring position. And the pitch from Sims. And that one goes out of the infield for a base hit, and that brings home the 3rd run of the inning for the Lady Bruins, and she's going to get all the way down to second. She gets to second on the throw-in, a base hit, and then a fielder's choice takes her to second. So the Lady Bruins have made the best of it here in this inning, and this is going to be the 8th one to hit. And they got Halen Ayers down there at third, and it's in there for a strike. They've managed to bunch some hits together in this inning. And the pitch. That's going to get away, and that's going to bring home another run as Halen Ayers comes in on the pass ball with the 4th run of the inning. We got a game, folks. It's 7-5. And moving over to third is Mary Patton Redden. And here's the pitch. And the official steps back. 2 balls and a strike. So the Lady Bruins have come alive, and they have successfully strung together some infield and outfield hits. That one sliced back way out of play. So let's see if Abby Brown can add to this with a runner at third. The 2-2 pitch is coming from Sims. And that one again goes down the first base line. She's been hanging tough in there. So the Lady Bruins have finally come off the deck in with Maddie Polk down at third base. And did she tip it? That's the question. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just did get a piece of it. All right. The 2-2 again. And went after it and missed it for strike 3. But the Lady Bruins managed to get off the deck in this inning and deliver. They picked up 4 runs on only 2 hits, no errors, and 1 player left on base. And so, at the end of 2 innings of play, we got us a game. It is Westview 7, USJ 5.
Football looks fun. I bet I would have been great at it. The first football playing Deer, they would have made a movie about me and everything. Probably get Kurt Russell to play me. But alas, me and my dreams run right over again.
For fast, reliable collision repair, trust the experts at Mitchell's Body Shop. And get back out there.
We offer live webcasting for families. It kind of came out of when so many warriors were going overseas to war. We have learned to offer families more choices, that we want to serve our families well and serve our families better.
Well, the sun has gone behind some of the lower clouds right now as we are approaching the 6 o'clock hour, about 11 minutes away from it. It's a lot better on the outfielders not to have to be dealing with the sun in their face, but we're still about an hour and 20 minutes away from sunset. Back for her second trip to the plate is Marianne Chester. She singled and brought in 2 runs in the first. And that one a bit inside, a ball and no strikes. That 4-run rally has to juice. You just got to believe that E.K. Elrod's feeling a lot better about herself, because instead of being down 6, down by only 2 now. And the line and the pitch just inside, 2 balls and a strike to Chester. Sarah Beth Byers, the third baseman, would be next, and then Lakin Rogers, the second baseman. She's been up every inning. And that one's a hard hit ball that's going to get by the shortstop for a base hit. She just slapped that ball back to the outfield. So that's 2 singles for Chester, and that brings up Byers, her first time up. She grounded out third baseman to first. So let's see if they can pull a double play off of this one. Elrod the pitch. And the runner was taking a big lead, but they got her back to first. A ball and no strikes. We're live with you on Worthy Road Studios, on YouTube, and on Facebook on Worthy Road Studios and Ball Game Blitz. And that one's a strike. A ball and a strike. Again, reminding you, subscribe to all of those pages, the Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and the Worthy Road and Ball Game Blitz Facebook pages, and you'll see a lot of this same action after the games are over. And the pitch, and bunted right down in front of the catcher, firing to first, and they get it. That's actually the first baseman who picked that up and tossed it to the second baseman who was covering first. So they worked that play very, very well. The runner advances to second, so Chester is in scoring position on the fielder's choice. And here goes Lakin Rogers. She's 1 for 2. She had a single and scored in the first inning and flied out to right field in the second. And the pitch. And that's going to go to the second baseman, on to first. And that is out, number 2, with the runner, Chester, advancing to third. That brings up Piper Johnson, the shortstop. She singled in the first inning, and in the second inning, reached base on an error on the shortstop and ended up coming in on a home run by McCall Sims. The pitch. And that one is getting just, what a catch! What a catch, sliding from fair territory into foul by Halen. I don't know how in the world she came up with that one. And she's getting high fives all around from her teammates. What a snag. In fact, everybody's laughing about it. So no runs in that inning on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 player left on base. And so we're at the end of 2.5. It is 7-5, Westview still on top.
Buying a home is a major milestone, and at the Bank of Jackson, we want to help you achieve it. Our mortgage specialists can assist you with conventional, VA, FHA, or construction loans, as well as USDA and THDA development loans. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Taylor Shands, the third baseman, up. She was called out on strikes her first time up. If the Lady Bruins come back and take this one, you can look back on that diving catch there to end the third inning as a huge turnaround play in this game. They still got some work to do, but they're only down by 2. And Taylor goes around on it. A ball and a strike. L.K. Prater, the catcher, would be after her, and then E.K. Elrod, the pitcher. Sims delivers, and she goes after it. Ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. And 1 after it for strike 3. So that is the third strikeout of the afternoon for McCall Sims. And that brings up L.K. Prater. She was hit by a pitch and came in to score on a sacrifice back in the second inning of play. And she started that big 4-run rally in the second inning. Fouls 1 off to the screen. That is not a marching army behind us, in case you wonder. Somebody coming up here to grab some water for the team. Sims delivers, and a little bit low. Ball and a strike, 1 out. Nobody on for the Lady Bruins. They just want to keep chipping away at that, what was a 7-1 deficit, and that one's fouled back up, sliced over into the parking lot. So it is a ball and 2 strikes. And Joe Alaires fires one back to Sims. The one thing you don't like when the sun goes behind the cloud is, and there's one that goes between the shortstop and the third baseman into left field for a base hit. So for the Lady Bruins, that's their 4th hit of the afternoon, and that brings up A.K. Elrod, the pitcher. She struck out her first time up. The key thing is that when the sun goes behind the clouds, you end up, and it feels about 8 to 10 degrees colder out here, and particularly on a windy day like this one. That one's way high for ball 1. Ella Golden is next. She stands in and waits on it, and it's down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Boy, for EK, if she had an opportunity to help her own cause here, this would be huge here in the third. And the runner is going on that one, and a high fly ball goes over the right fielder's head. The runner coming to third. EK is on to second, trying to make it to third with a stand, sliding in with a triple. Talk about helping your own cause right there, and LK Prater came in on the triple. So an RBI triple for EK Elrod that just simply the right fielder turned the wrong way and it dropped in behind her. So it's a 7-6 game, and you got a runner only about 90 feet away, and here comes Ella Golden. She walked her first time up and scored on a single. Boy, if she just gets one to the outfield, that will bring them all the way back. And a bunt right to the right, and it just didn't have a shot at getting into fair territory. Was trying to sacrifice bunt once again. And you got to know that EK was boogieing to get home. But now it's a no ball, 2-strike count. Still only one out. And Golden steps back into the plate. And the pitch. Low for ball 1. Ball and 2 strikes. Big pitch coming up. We're in the bottom of the third, and that one is going to be out of play. So Ella's hanging tough, trying to get her pitcher and teammate home from third. And the pitch. And went after it for strike 3. They just blew smoke by her that time. That's the 4th strikeout for McCall Sims. That brings up Mary Patton Redden. And she hit a sacrifice that brought in a run. And that one's tapped foul. If she can get on, Kendall Morris would be next. Lady Bruins would love to make it a brand new ball game here in the third. The pitch. In there on the corner. No balls and 2 strikes. And EK Elrod, the lady with the triple, hoping to score. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We've been at it for a solid hour now for these 3 innings. The wind and the pitch. And that one is sliced just over the fence. And here come the shadows and the sunlight for the outfielders. Well, that really can affect your depth of field and your view when you have shadows coming over part of the infield like this. And the pitch. And it looked as though it might have. It did not. It looked from our vantage point, again, that's the shadows. It was a ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looked like it might have hit her elbow, but it didn't. The wind and the pitch. And that's low. And here comes the runner. And she's in there. Great job of base running by EK to get in and tie this game. On the pass ball, we are all tied at 7. It's brand new again. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mary Patton Redden. Boy, this is what you call grinding it back out and managing to even up a game that was 7-1. Bases have cleared. Full count to Mary Patton Redden. And now she steps back. Well, nope, I thought she was going to step back in, and now they're going to call the other umpire over. And I'm not sure what the conference is about here, and everybody's going to gather around McCall Sims, her infield, to try to keep her pumped up. So anyway, again, not sure what that conference is about. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The payoff pitch coming from Sims. And that one's tap foul. This has been a long at-bat for Mary Patton. She's been at the plate about 3.5 minutes. And the pitch. And fouled again. Well, here we go. Let's reset the 3-2 count. And the pitch. And fouled again. I think she's entertaining her teammates with all these foul offs that she has. She's still waiting on the pitch she wants. And this is adding to the pitch count to Sims, and she delivers again and struck her out. The 5th strikeout for Sims, but not before the Lady Bruins came up with 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and no one left on base. Brand new ball game as we go to the 4th. It's all tied up at 7.
The most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way? Peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
Home furnishings, appliances, bedding, and so much more. Kaufman's. At the Bypass and Oil Well Road in Jackson. Home furnishings for every room in your home. Custom upholstery options too, with professional advice. Major appliances from America's top name brands. Mattresses and bedding accessories. Outdoor living and grilling too. And our fully stocked warehouse helps prevent supply chain delays. Kaufman's, for your life.
Well, we'll start from scratch now as the Lady Bruins in the last 2 innings have rallied to tie it at 7. And E.K. Elrod has to feel like she's got a brand new life on the mound now. Up first is her counterpart, McCall Sims, the pitcher who has reach-based on an error on the right fielder and scored, and also hit a 2-run homer in the 2nd. Top half of the 4th, and the pitch from Elrod. And there's a line drive that is going to go into deep left field, going back to the fence. She's going to get to second and stop there with a stand-up double. Sims just timed her swing perfectly and got it in the gap. Addie Roberts, the catcher now. Addie had a single in the 1st, and then she flied out to the second baseman in the 2nd. Outside corner for strike 1. Runner on second in scoring position. And the pitch. Got that corner again for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Ike looks like she's just pitching with more confidence now after that shaky first 2 innings. Her teammates and she have battled back. That one's high for ball 3. The runner faked like she was going to go down to third, and I think that was probably not a wise move. Catcher was ready to make that snap throw over to third base, and the pitch is outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Roberts does have power. Playing her almost straight away in center field. And boy, that one was pump foul down the left field line. So we stay at 2-2. And remember, we've got more USJ action. We got baseball action that'll be coming up on Thursday night at 6:30 right here, just across the way at Overton Stadium. Alexander Bitterling will be bringing you that game. And just missed on that one. We've gone full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Roberts. And whoa, did she tee off on that one, and it was just fouled. That one went way back over there on the grass. If that had been straight, goodbye, 2-run homer. The 3-2. High for ball 4, and so she navigated a walk out of it, and so Lady Bruins are facing some trouble again with runners on first and second for Westview. And that brings up the designated hitter, Braden Hazelwood. She had a bases-loaded walk in the first inning and a single and scored in the second. She is always a threat up at the plate. And the pitch. And she bunts it foul. Runners will have to take a quick trip back to their respective bases. I'm sure they're glad that they just have respective bases. And this has been a long game so far. We don't have anybody out in the 4th inning, and we've been at it for an hour and 10 minutes. The ump is cleaning off the plate. And this one may be just a game of endurance to get through these lengthy innings. And that one makes it a 1-1 count. And nobody out, 2 on. And Elrod delivers. High fly ball. Left fielder moving over and couldn't get up to it, but it was foul. She may have had issues with the sun on that one because those are some really nasty streaks out there where she is. So a ball and 2 strikes to Hazelwood. Anna Alley, the center fielder, would be next. And she's been on base a couple of times this afternoon. And struck her out. First strikeout of the afternoon for E.K. Elrod, and here comes Alley. Let's see if they can pull off a double play. Alley reached base on a fielder's choice and scored, and she also had a single and scored in the second inning. And bunts right in front of the catcher. He's going to have to throw it quickly. Got her at first, but the runners advance. So a neat sacrifice for Anna Alley. Score that one 1-3, or 2-3, excuse me. So the runners move up on the sacrifice, and both in scoring position on second and third. And here comes Emma Barner. She singled in the first inning and flied out to right field in the second. This would be a big out to get to keep this game tied. 2 down, and the pitch. Low for ball 1. Yeah, the blanket concession would be very profitable here this afternoon. And that one's high, ball 2. First base is open. And this young lady can slug it herself. Elrod gets the signal and the pitch. Got the corner. 2 balls and a strike. The Lady Bruins looked like it was going to be a dire afternoon when they fell down 7-1, but they've just grinded it together in both the second and third innings. And the pitch. And that one right back to the screen. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 out. Big pitch coming here. She gets the signal, and the 2-2. Got her on a beautiful slip pitch for out number 3. Her second strikeout of the afternoon, ending the threat. No runs. I'm trying to tally up right here. No runs, 1 hit. They had a walk. No errors, and 2 girls left on base. And so we have reached the 3.5 inning mark, and we're still all tied at 7.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Championship DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Tremendous job of clutch pitching by E.K. Elrod to get out of that jam in the top half of the 4th. And leading off here in the bottom of the 4th is Kendall Morris, the right fielder. She flied out to the third baseman her first time up. And Sims delivers on the corner for strike 1. Halen Ayers and Maddie Polk will follow her. And the pitch. One after that one for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Sims has struck out 5 Lady Bruins so far today. And the pitch way outside. Trying to get her to chase a bad one. A ball and 2 strikes. And one after one outside for strike 3. 6th strikeout now for Sims. And here comes Halen Ayers. She's been on base both times. She had a single and came home on a stolen base in the first inning. She had a single and scored on a pass ball. She also had an RBI. And that one is out of play. Ball and no strikes, 1 out. See if Halen can start a go-ahead rally here. And slice that one just beyond the dugout. Ball and a strike. This young lady is one of the finest athletes in all of West Tennessee. And she has it in the genes because her mom was one of the greats of West Tennessee basketball when she played. Ball and 2 strikes. And there he goes. Going to go to about a 3-hopper to the second baseman and out at first. So 2 down here in the 4th. Maddie Polk, the center fielder. She grounded out in the first inning, and in the second, she had a single and an RBI. Let's see if Maddie can get a 2-out rally going. And that one dips low, ball 1, gets away from the catcher. Tell you, the sun and clouds are having a battle here this afternoon, almost like this game is. And here's where it's tough on the pitcher because in just a few minutes, that one's going to be tapped, and that's going to be a hard to get. Pitcher has to pick it up and Jess couldn't grasp it quickly enough, and so Maddie Polk gets an infield single. Because you give about another 5 to 7 minutes, and that shadow is going to be moving down a bit more across the mound, and it is tough to be able, and it's also tough for the pitcher, for the hitter as well. And that one's going to go down the third baseman, going to go long to first, and nails her for out number 3. So a relatively quick inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 girl left on base, and so we have completed 4. We are still all deadlocked between USJ and Westview at 7.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's body shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Do you want your smile to say it all? At Elite Dental Care, we'll make you and your family feel comfortable and secure with a variety of services and state-of-the-art care. We offer sedation dentistry that will make your time in the dental chair comfortable and relaxed. Come by and see our newly renovated and expanded office in Jackson, or one of our other convenient locations in Trenton or Dyersburg. Trust your smile with Elite Dental Care, and let your smile say it all.
We're still deadlocked here as we start the top half of the 5th inning. Marianne Chester coming into the plate. She has had an afternoon of 2 for 2. She's had 2 RBIs. So she's very dependable to get on base. She'll be followed by Sarah Beth Byers, the third baseman, and Lakin Rogers, the second baseman. And that shadow is getting right on the rubber right now, and strike 1 right down in there for Elrod. As I say, she has been getting more and more confident this afternoon, got herself out of a tight jam there in the 4th inning of play. She struck out 2. And the pitch. Got her on one that was a humdinger on the inside. No balls and 2 strikes. And here we go. Big pitch. And that's going to the third baseman and way too high for first, over her head. And so score that an error on the third baseman. So Chester gets on once again on an E5. Sarah Beth Byers, she's grounded out twice. Let's see if they can play at double play depth right now. Byers, high fly ball that's going to get just out of the infield, and the second baseman comes down with it. Abby Brown had to turn about something like 85 degrees to come down with that one. Also had to nearly knock the umpire down. But Abby nails it for out number 1. And here comes Lakin Rogers. She singled and scored in the first inning, flied out in the second, grounded out in the third. The wind and the pitch, and that one's fouled back. No balls and a strike. When this game was 7-1 after an inning and a half, it was looking dire for USJ, but they put together just some solid performances in the second and third inning to tie this one at 7. The pitch, just outside, a ball and a strike. Piper Johnson, the shortstop, would be next. She's been on base a couple of times today. And the pitch. And that one's going to the third baseman, and they're not going to get anybody. So score that another E5. That went off of her glove, and Halen Ayers came over there to retrieve it to keep any more damage from happening. So you've got 2 on as a result of errors, and here comes Piper Johnson. She singled in the first, and she scored on a home run after reaching base on an error in the second and flied out in the third. Hard hit ball down the left field foul line. We got 1 out and runners on first and second. And Elrod again with a mild jam. It seems like it's been that way in virtually every inning. She's clawed her way out of it the last 3. Pitch. Ball and a strike. Again, they've got double play options everywhere except at home. And the pitch outside. 2 balls and a strike. Beginning to feel a little bit of the wind chill as it comes in through our open window up here in the press box. Here's the wind and the pitch, and that's going to get over the second baseman's head. Let's see if they can hold the runner, and they do. It's going to be bases loaded. Didn't get deep enough to score the runner from third. So Johnson with her second hit of the afternoon. So you got to play at every base, and here comes the pitcher, McCall Sim. She's been up and on every time. She scored in the first after reaching base on an error, hit a 2-run homer in the second, and hit a double to open up the fourth. This will be the time you could nail her down. And the pitch. That's a high fly ball to center field. They're under it, but that's going to score a run. So Sims with a sacrifice fly brings home another one to send the Lady Chargers back into the lead. And the other runners advance. That brought home Marianne Chester. So you got runners on second and third on the sacrifice fly. And 2 down. Addie Roberts, the catcher. She has walked twice today and flied out to the second baseman. So Chargers back on top 8-7. And the pitch. Up high. Ball 1. Shands, Prater, and Elrod will be up for the Lady Bruins in their half of the 5th. Want to hold the damage to 1 run here as much as possible if you're a USJ fan. And that one was called a bit high. 2 balls and no strikes. Braden Hazelwood, the designated hitter, would be next. And the pitch. Up high again. 3-0. They can put her on first and then have to deal with Hazelwood, who has been a tough hitter, although she did strike out her last time up. And here's your pitch on 3-0, and walked her on 4 pitches. So here is Braden Hazelwood. She had a bases-loaded walk in the first inning. She had a single and scored in the second and struck out in the fourth. So this is her 4th plate appearance today. And no place to put her. They got to play at every base. Sacrifice fly doesn't help you here. And that's a lazy pop fly. Are they going to? No! It drops down and out at third. The run will count. That one just dropped in between the infielders and the center fielder. And that brought in Lakin Rogers with the 9th run Well, let's see here. I'm seeing a 10th run has been tallied here, so perhaps they got 2 runs in on that. So they picked up in that inning 3 runs on 1 hit, 2 errors, and 2 players left on base. And so at the end of 5, or at the end of 5.5, I should say, it is Westview 10, USJ 7.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Well, with the help of 2 errors in the 5th inning, Westview has returned to the lead at 10-7. So the Lady Bruins have some work to do. Taylor Shands, who struck out twice, she's up to hit, followed by L.K. Prater and E.K. Elrod. Ball and no strikes. Just got to shake that previous inning off and try to see if you can do the work yourself here. It's outside for ball 2. And here we are in the lazy shadows of late afternoon now as we reach 6:30 here in West Tennessee. Right down the middle for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch to Taylor. Inside, ball 3. If she can get on with a walk, you'll take it any way you can get it. The 3-1. Got around on it too quick. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Taylor Shands. The 3-2. Just missed. So Taylor navigates a walk to start the 5th. L.K. Prater, the catcher. She was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning and scored, and she singled and scored in the 3rd. And the pitch. There's a high, lazy fly that's going out to the left fielder for out number 1. Not a whole lot of movement necessary on that play for Carabeth Hattler. So here's E.K. Elrod, the pitcher. She had a triple her last time out. She's also struck out. That one is going to just slowly roll down the first base line and tag the bag unassisted. That moves Taylor Shands over to 2nd on the fielder's choice. Ella Golden, the first baseman, she walked and scored in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd. So you got one in scoring position, and you want to try to see if you can get this one home. Don't want to waste any base runners. And the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. They're playing her in moderate depth in the outfield. Outside for ball 1. And she steps back into the box. And the pitch. Hit the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And you've got Taylor Shands down at 2nd. And the pitch struck her out. That is the 7th strikeout of the afternoon for Sims. So you had no runs, no hits, a walk, and 1 player left on base. So we've completed 5. It is Westview 10, USJ 7.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians. Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Top half of the 6th, Anna Alley steps in for Westview. She reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the first inning, singled in the second, and sacrificed in the 4th. Ball and no strikes. Need to hold them Bruins in these last 2 innings and see if you can get some kind of an additional rally going. They clawed their way back into this one in the middle innings, and then gave up 3 in the 5th. Hit the outside corner. Two and one. Alley will be followed by Barner and Chester. That one is fouled back into the parking lot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The wind and the pitch. Got her on a beautiful slip pitch, and so Alley becomes the 3rd strikeout victim of E.K. Elrod. Emma Barner will step in, the first baseman. And she reached base on a walk in the first inning, flied out in the second, and struck out in the 4th. EK getting her sign and stepping out of the box. And let's see, I think we got a pinch hitter up here now. I'll check that because that's not Barner. Tanela Ward is pinch hitting for Barner. And the pitch from Elrod, and that one is lined right to Halen Ayers for out. Number 2. So Marianne Chester, the right fielder, and she started that 3-run rally when she reached base on an error in the 5th inning that gave them this 10-7 lead, and she scored on a sacrifice fly. And let's see if EK can get them 1, 2, 3. Up high, ball 1. She has thrown an awful lot of pitches this afternoon. But she and Sims have gone all the way. And that one is going to be lined. It's going to drop right in front of the left fielder. So Chester with yet another base hit. And that's her third of the afternoon. Here's Sarah Beth Byers, the third baseman. She has grounded out twice and flied out to the second baseman. She hits in the ninth slot. So this is where EK's got to really dip down and try to get this one out. That one is going to drop into a short right field. So that's a little bloop single. And all of a sudden, just like that, after 2 out, they have 2 on. And Lakin Rogers coming up for the 5th time tonight. She singled and scored in the first inning, reached base on an error, and scored in the 5th. And she flied out and grounded out her other 2 times up. And now with 2 on, right on the outside corner for strike 1. This is where you want to bear down and try to see if you can get a strikeout or a force play anywhere. And that's just outside, a ball and a strike. 2 down, 2 on. Lady Bruins trail by 3. Gets her signal, and the wind and the pitch. High and outside, ball 2. Getting behind the hitter. Rogers is one. She can hit it to all fields. And the pitch. Way outside, the runners are going to advance. That one just got a little bit too high. Charged that one as a wild pitch. So now they're both in scoring position. It takes off the double play possibility. You really just need 1. 3 balls and a strike with 2 on, and the Chargers threatening again. The pitch. And that one is sliced foul. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 down. Chargers on top by 3 and trying to add more. But Elrod trying to get in the way of that. The 3-2 struck her out. And that is the 4th strikeout of the afternoon for E.K. Elrod. So you wind up with no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 girls left on base. So the score at the end of 5 1/2. Westview still leads USJ 10-7.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Mention Ball Game Blitz Sports Network and receive a free gift.
Mary Patton Redden, the left fielder, up. She has struck out. She also reached base on a sacrifice bunt. And it looked like she may have been trying to do the same thing there, but it went foul. No balls in the strike. Lady Bruins, good job of clutch pitching to get out of a jam by E.K. Elrod in the 6th. And they're trying to see if they can claw their way back into it again. There's a strike. Inside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. No balls and 2 strikes. All right, the pitch to Mary Patton. And struck her out. That is the 8th strikeout of the afternoon for McCall Sims. And that brings up Kendall Morris, the right fielder. She has flied out to the third baseman and struck out. Sims with a one-out delivery and tried to bunt it, and it went back behind the plate. No balls and a strike. Lady Bruins doing anything possible they can to get a runner on just to help the top portion of this lineup. And that one just dipped, and no balls and 2 strikes. The wind and the pitch. Call strike 3, and that is number 9 for Sims. So it's up to Halen Ayers to get something going here in the 6th. Halen has had 2 singles. She's scored twice. She's had a stolen base, and she's grounded out. And that one just slipped away and called strike 1. And Joel Ayers arguing that she didn't go on that one, and the umpire says, well, my word is final. The 0-1 coming to Halen Ayers. And that's going to go right to the second baseman on to first, and it is a quick 3-run, 3 up and 3 down for the Bruins. Could not get anything going in the 6th. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. So we are going to the 7th. Westview still on top, 10-7.
Mention Ball Game Blitz Sports Network and receive a free gift.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Well, we're going to the 7th, and it is the shortstop Piper Johnson standing in. She's been on base 3 times. She's had 2 singles. She was on base on an error and scored on a 2-run homer by pitcher McCall Sims. Ball and no strikes from E.K. Elrod. And the wind and the pitch. There's a high drive going back, and it is up against the fence. Firing it back in from center field. She's in with a stand-up double. So Johnson on base for the 4th time this evening. And McCall Sims, who has been on base 3 times, including a 2-run homer. She also had a double and reached base on an error. She scored twice. And the pitch. She also had a sacrifice fly, and the runner's going to make it to third. Just got away, so that's going to be a pass ball. So they've got another threat going down on third with Piper Johnson and Sims at the plate. She'd love to give herself some insurance runs here. And that one goes into the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Addie Roberts, the catcher, will follow. And she's been on base 3 times. Here's the wind and the pitch. Didn't get the corner on that one. 3 balls and no strikes. You can expect Sims is probably going to be taking this pitch all the way. And here's the 3-0. Walked her on 4. So they'll be on first and third for Addie Roberts. Roberts has been on base 3 times on walks today. She has not scored a run. Officially 0 for 1. She flied out in the second inning to the second baseman. They've got him on first and third. High. They're going to second and chase the runner back to first. Ball and no strikes. And the shadows as we near sunset are all over the field right now. And that's in there for strike, and the runner's going to advance down to second with no throw. So they've got them both in scoring position. And Roberts has a 1-1 count. And the pitch. Hard driving pitch in the corner for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes. Braden Hazelwood, who has been double tough tonight, she'll be up next. And the pitch. Just missed the corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Top half of the 7th. And there are some chilly fans here. I think I see somebody down below us with 2 blankets. Here we go with the 2-2. High, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch coming. And she's waiting to get the signal for the pitch she wants. And here it is. Walked her. So they have loaded them up once again with nobody out. And that brings up Braden Hazelwood. She had a walk that brought in a run, bases loaded walk. She had a single in the second and a single in the 5th. She's also struck out. And she's up there with them all jammed. They're going to take her time to step into the box. The line and the pitch. And calls it low for ball 1. Anna Alley would be next. And that one straight up. First baseman underneath it, calling for it, and takes it for out number 1. Boy, if the Lady Bruins could get out of this one with the bases loaded and not give up a run, it would have to be a jolt of energy to go into that bottom half of the 7th. Anna Alley, the center fielder. She reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the first, singled in the second, had a sacrifice in the 3rd, and then struck out in the 4th. 0-1 the count. So most of this lineup for Westview is their 5th appearance at the plate. And the wind and the pitch. And the bunt right in front of her, trying to get it home, and they got her. No, they say safe. Dropped the ball. It was a forced play, and they couldn't hold on to it at the plate, so it's an 11-7 game. So they're still jammed. And that brings up, let's see who's in there now. We had a pinch hitter the last inning. Yeah, Emma Barner back in there. The first baseman. She singled in the first, and she's also flied out and struck out. And they've still got somebody on every bag. And that one is going to go over the head of the second baseman, and they get another run home. Everybody advances one, so a base hit for Barner brings in another one. So the bases are still jammed with one out. Marianne Chester to the plate. She's been on base every time she's been there. She has 3 singles and a sacrifice fly, and she's scored a run. The 1-0 count. 12-7 lead now for the Chargers, and that's up high for a ball. 2-0. No place to put her. Sarah Beth Byers will be next. Got to be hoping for a double play if you're a Lady Bruin fan. The wind and the pitch. In the corner, 2 balls and a strike. Now they have put together bunches of runs in the 6th and 7th, just as they did in the first 2 innings. Three balls and a strike. And let's see, I'm sure she's going to have the green light on this one, and she does. And that is tagged to right field, and the right fielder takes it, but that brings in another run on the sacrifice fly. So Addie Roberts comes home with that one. And it is a 13-7 lead with Sarah Beth Byers up to the plate. She has singled and grounded out twice and flied out. 1 for 4 on the afternoon. 2 down now. And runners at first and second. And this is where if you're EK, you just want to get this last one out here and give your team a chance to see if they can get a major rally in the 7th. The wind and the pitch. That one is fouled beyond the parking lot. No balls and a strike. The leadoff hitter, Lakin Rogers, would be up next. And that one is going to send the runners to second and third. So that takes away your force play at anywhere but first. The 1-1. Just outside the corner, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Byers is the 8th Charger to bat in this inning. And the pitch. Low down, 3 balls and 1 strike. Big pitch right here, and she'll have the green light. And she takes it all the way. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a payoff pitch is coming. They're on second and third. And the 3-2. And that is lined just beyond Halen Ayers, and that is going to bring in 2 more runs. And it is a 15-7 game, 2-run single for Sarah Beth Byers. And Lakin Rogers coming up for the 6th time in this game. She's been on base twice, struck out her last time up. Singled and scored in the first inning. That's outside. Runner on first. A ball and no strikes to Rogers. And so they have batted around here in the 7th. And the pitch. That one is, well, just to the left of the window where our camera angle is. Ball and a strike with 2 outs. The wind and the pitch. That's way over the pitcher's head, and that is going to send Byers down to second. 8-run lead now for the Chargers. And the pitch coming by Elrod. Taking a lot of time with this one. And that one is going to be ruled foul. Did not quite get over the base. That was one of those that was hovering down the baseline and then went foul before it reached the base. So we got a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rogers, her 6th time up in this game. And time called as she steps out of the box. They haven't turned the lights on yet. And that's high for ball 3. So we've gone full again with a runner on second. And the 3-2 to Rogers. High fly ball, way high to the center fielder, who has only about a step to come in and gets it for out number 3. But not before 9 Chargers came to the plate, and they scored 5 runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, 1 error, and 1 girl left on base. And so we have reached 6.5 innings. We got to go get them Bruins, because the Chargers are up 15-7.
Carlac Prestige is not your typical used car dealer. We have everything from a Porsche to this, and lots more. We inspect and repair all our vehicles. Ask us to prove it. We will.
Carlac Prestige, Van Drive, Jackson.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all prearranged funerals. So you may have prearranged your funeral in this town with another funeral home or even in another state, but we accept all prearranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
Fleet Feet, your locally owned source for the best shoes for school, work, running, and everyday comfort. They offer a 3D scan of your feet and professional fitting. Fleet Feet sells the top-selling brands Hoka, On Cloud, and Brooks. To add comfort to your spikes or other performance shoes, let Fleet Feet fit you for a pair of arch support inserts. Get the quality you want and the service you deserve at Fleet Feet in Jackson on Oil Road beside Walgreens.
Maddie Polk, Abby Brown, Taylor Shands in the bottom of the 7th. Maddie drives that one, grounds it, and she's going to reach base. The second baseman could not pick it up, so that's an error on her. So Polk gets down to first. And let's see if we can get a bunch of these Bruins up here in the bottom of the 7th. Abby Brown, the second baseman. She had a run batted in the first. She struck out and grounded out. And the pitch. That's up high, 1 ball and that's 2 balls and no strikes. Probably not going to take many chances on the possibility of a steal here, down by 8. Almost hit her. 3 balls and no strikes. McCall Sims has struck out 9 today, but she has thrown a lot of pitches herself. Both these pitchers have gone all the way. And the wind and the pitch. Hits the corner, 3 balls and 1 strike. Brown would be followed by Taylor Shands and L.K. Prater. And the pitch. Hit the corner again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So this is a payoff pitch right here with nobody out. And the runner's going, and it was fouled off. She had a big enough lead, they would never have been able to get a force on her at second, but she's got to go all the way back, so just a long trot back for Maddie Polk. And there's one that is going to go right to the right fielder. Line drive, it looked like it was going to dip for a moment, but instead snagged by the right fielder for out number 1. So here's Taylor Shands. And that's low and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Taylor has struck out twice and reached on a walk. And the pitch. Runner going. They got to fire it down to second, and she's going to make it easily. Ball went into short center field. So give Maddie Polk a steal. She's in scoring position now. Brown with the count of 1-1. And the pitch. That's low down, and it is 2 balls and a strike. And that one's away. 3 balls and a strike. L.K. Prater, who's done a little damage today, she scored twice and had a single. She would come up next. And the 3-1. And she went around on it. 3 balls and 2 strikes for Taylor Shands. Well, these fans still encouraging despite trailing by 8 runs, and went after it for strike 3. 10th strikeout for McCall Sims. And here's the last hope for the Bruins in L.K. Prater, the catcher. She sacrificed, and that one's on top of the roof where we're at and came back down for strike 1. She was hit by a pitch ball and scored on a sacrifice bunt in the second inning, singled and scored on a triple in the third, and flied out in the 5th. And she's there with an 0-1 count. And that one's going down to the third baseman, firing long to first, and that's your ball game. So for the Lady Bruins, it was no runs on no hits, no error, 1 error, and 1 player left on base, and your final score is Westview 15 and USJ 7, and we'll be back with the totals and the wrap-up in 60 seconds.
At Dynamics Physical Therapy, we help our clients get back to doing what they love. Dynamics is now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Thompson & Smith, the area's premier independent insurance brokerage, has been serving families and businesses in the region through its founding companies since 1927. With their many insurance company partners, Thompson & Smith provides insurance products for family, home and auto, contractors, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, medical and dental clinics, as well as any other business or organization seeking quality coverage, risk management expertise, and customer-focused service. Call them today to discuss your insurance needs.
Well, it was a tough afternoon for the Lady Bruins. They fell behind 7-1 in the second, and then rallied in their half of the second to pick up 4 runs on only 2 hits and close the gap to 7-5 and put 2 more on the board in the third. And all of a sudden we had a brand new game at 7-7, but it was in the 5th that all of a sudden Westview, they had 2 out, and they suddenly put together a string of singles and a walk. in a sacrifice fly and came home with 3 runs on only 1 hit in that inning, and that pretty much told the tale because they never looked back from taking the lead at 10-7, and that added those 5 insurance runs in the 7th inning, in which they batted around once again, and Lakin Rogers, the second baseman, got up for the 6th time in the game. And so it was a 15-7 game. And let's look at our totals right here as we wrap it up from USJ softball field. 15 runs on 15 hits for Westview. And for USJ, it was 7 runs on 6 hits. They were held hitless in the last 3 innings of the game. And the performance, you got to say, E.K. Elrod gave everything she had, but she was just simply gassed at the end of it to have to go at this and throw the number of pitches that she did for 7 full innings. Just, it took so much out of her. And you did have some bright spots in there. Halen Ayers had a couple of hits in both the first and second inning. And also L.K. Prater with a hit, and she was hit by a pitch ball. She scored twice in the game. E.K. Elrod had a stand-up triple that brought in a run, and that was when the excitement was coming to tie the game at 7. But it just simply was not enough, and the tough pitching, and I will say McCall Sims threw a lot of pitches for Westview as well, but she ended up striking out 10 Lady Bruins and helped her own cause with a 2-run homer in the second inning, and she reached base 4 times during the game and scored 3 times. So we would have to say certainly our player of the game would be McCall Sims for both her pitching and hitting effort this afternoon. So your final, once again, is Westview 15, USJ 7, and Alexander Bitterling will be with you with baseball on Thursday, and that is a 6:30 game time, and we'll be hitting our streaming at about 6:25 that night, so hope all of you will be with us on the Worthy Road Studios and the Ball Game Blitz Facebook pages and the Worthy Road Studios YouTube page. And please subscribe to all of those because you'll get to see a lot of your favorite athletes from right here at USJ. Even if you are at the game, you can see it all again. And I know this wasn't a happy one this afternoon for the Lady Bruins, but they still had some bright spots in their offensive play today, and we'll just see what happens the next time out. So that wraps it up from here, and we will say to you that the executive producer of Worthy Road Studios and the Ball Game Blitz Sports Network is Paul Schultze. And today's telecast produced by Stephanie Janda and directed by the ever-cool, ever-present Alyssa Tatch. I'm Steve Beverly, and so until we're with you again with more from right here at USJ, it's been a beautiful night. Just wish the score had been different. So until we're with you again, remember to come back to see us every chance you get, and so long from the great hub city of West Tennessee.
The Ball Game Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. Ball Game Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee. The Ball Game. The Ball Game Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. Ball Game Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.